Okay. So let's see. Perfect. Alright, so breaking this trade down, right? So what am I saying, right? If we go based off the monthly time frame, right? Obviously currently more bullish, right? We have this higher low right here, and then we have this higher high right there, right? And then we have a higher low point right around here. So we have this like little support right here that we are trying to break. Hopefully, right? So we have that support right there. So we're still pretty much bullish, right? So now looking at this here and just kind of structure it. So just at these candlesticks right now, we kind of just have like we're just kind of consolidating right around this range, consolidating at this range, right? So kind of this higher low point, we came here. Now it looks like we could be turning around a little bit. Now we did have like a little bit of a resistance right here. We kind of have like this little bit. This might be enough to potentially kind of push this more a little bit to the downside once again, right? Or it could just be just that, right? Just the fact that it was this kind of little exhaustion. I mean, this little bearish candle here, and that we could potentially be looking to push up, you know. But if I'm being honest, like we're just at this bullish candle right here. All right, this bullish candle right there, that's kind of what the main structure is. So we're kind of, if we jump down to like the lower time frames, right, kind of looking at this here, it's a bit blocky, but still I can still understand it, right? So here, boom, higher low, boom, and then we have a higher low, higher high, right, and then boom. So now looking at this structure here, this is kind of like a really good key level where it's currently at. As you can see, it got rejected multiple times, just even starting from over here, right? Rejected all along here, right? So this is a really key level, right? So I'm not saying that necessarily we can just tank. I mean, hopefully that'll be nice, right? But at this point in time, I think the way that structure is kind of developing itself, right? Again, this could be like this key area for us to push up, but I think that at this point in time right now, I think we can see a nice bullish push to the downside. This would be lovely if we can get this push right here. And now I'm kind of take profits. Alright, something like down there. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for. That's the aim. That's the kind of like the overall aim at this point. Would be something down there, right? And that's pretty much the max, because again, I think we're still overall bullish. I don't think this can come all the way down here. Not at this time, right? Maybe eventually, maybe it could, but like I said, I don't think so. Especially also, this level is like a key level right here, right? So again, we never know, right? We never know. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like we just gotta react, right? Biggest thing is reacting to the market. So right now we're kind of at this like higher low point, and we're trying to make it a higher low point. We're trying to actually push up to the upside, But as you can see, we're just getting a bunch of weak candles, right? Weak candles. It's not ideal, right? So this is why I'm still looking for this sell potentially here. And then if I look at the daily, right? The daily's obviously a lot more bearish in the sense of we have this lower high point there, right? And then we have this lower low here. Boom. And so at this point in time, we're kind of just like pushing, right? We just kind of pushed up here. Boom, right? So I would say that we're still bearish, trying to find our lower high point. I can mark this off as a potential lower high point. But yeah, so we're just counter trending, right? Based off this daily time frame, we're just kind of counter trending because we are more bearish. So at this point, we're just kind of counter trending a little bit here. And this could also, looking at this right now, this could also be a nice little. Let's go back to the patterns. Head and shoulders pattern, right? So we kind of have this little left shoulder, boom, the head, and that would be that right shoulder that can potentially put us right around this area here. Smooth, right? Smooth trade. That's that trade, right? And let's talk about this trade based off the H4, right? Oh yeah, and then coming back here, so that's kind of like structure, right? Off candlestick analysis, right? We kind of are still pretty much within this bearish candle, meaning that we did end up kind of, this candle right here is what made that lower high, lower low. Once we go down to lower time frame, and at that point, all these bullish candles is literally just retracements, right? That's all that is. It's literally just retracements. Literally just retracements. That's all that is, right? It's not an actual push, it's not an actual none of that. It's just retracements, right? So, but with that being said, it's like, okay, so H4, I already know in the back of my head that we're still going to be majority bearish, right? But with that being said, it's like, once we, let's say we take a sell position, we still got to break this high low point right here. So now, based off the daily, we do have a support here. This would definitely be my TP1 right there, and then TP2 would definitely be here. TP3 would be kind of down here, but that would be kind of getting out of hand, right? I'm thinking that more of a TP2 is more realistic in a sense. Yeah, so then with that being said, right, H4, right, so like we said, lower high point, right? And again, I think I'm at the point now where I truly understand it. I say that because I took this buy here, right? And I'm still mad about this buy because I took this buy here, right? And I understood structure. I understood that we were pretty much bullish based off the fact that this candle here was not being broken or engulfed or any of that, right? So with that being said, I took this buy, right? And I caught all this. I was actually up, I want to say like $300 or $400. Did not close. Did not close, right? Did not close. Still, I was still holding, and then what got me was this freaking candle right there. Look at that candle. Stupid, right? Be honest, it's not stupid, but again, it's like it made me realize that I wasn't with the. Again, I'm kind of realizing this a little bit too late. Kind of like a learning experience, learning process at this point. But again, I caught that move, right? And I knew it was bullish. I didn't even know that at this key level, I didn't have this key level drawn at this time here, but I was at this key level. And that's why we took that buy, right? But again, it's like me seeing this, I gotta understand too, like, okay, like I had multiple reasonings to get out of this trade, especially like, okay, I understand that whole point of like we didn't break that, right? You know, there's exhaustion. This was a chance right here that we almost had, right? But again, when I go down to lower time frames, at that point, let's go back to this M15 where it kind of right here. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? It's this candle, right? It's all of this. Oh, on the M15, right? So is that candle? Okay, so yeah, it was all this. Right here, perfect example, perfect. So I literally caught at entries. I think I had one entry here, another one here, and then like some other one right here. This was like a 0.01. These were all standard lots, right? So I was literally up $400. Again, came all the way up here, right? And again, I was looking at this. Literally, I was looking at this, right? Came up here. All the even at this here, this lower high point here, I was still like, you know what? I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna be confident. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hold. Cool. Not a bad hold. Still to this, like even this, like again, this could have been the push out, right? So, but we should have exited, right? That's what I'm trying to say, because we were still counter trending. All this is still technically a counter trend. We still haven't broke bullish based off the H4, I want to say. We still haven't broke bullish, right? So we're still technically counter trending, right? Even here, okay, cool. We see all this exhaustion, cool. We might have hold. Nah, this is where we should have exited, right? And I'm not just saying that because obviously we had the big dump. But again, it's like we had a double top right here, right? Which now I'm breaking this level based off just that. And now we're just creating a lower high point at this point. And then even just here, right, we're getting bullish, strong bearish candle, weak candles, and then even just a nice strong, again, we had so many, and even if I exited here, I think I made total profit off that trade like $70. Again, I was up 400 something bucks, closed $70 in profit. If I would have closed here, I would have made, I think, an extra, not extra, I think I would have made total like 100 and something, maybe even 200 if I'm not mistaken, $200 rather than $70, and I was up $400. You know what I mean? So these are just things that, and again, things that I just need to focus on, right? I'm still missing something, right? Because again, I can get these trades. I'm up so much in profit a lot of these times, and I'm not seeing it, right? So with that being said, it's like, okay, even just this buy kind of had me because now at this point I'm thinking like bullish, right? I'm thinking like, oh, it's not bullish. Then this here throws me off because we get this crazy wig. I don't even know if I should take that bearish, take it bullish, all that stuff. But then I'm like, no, we're still bearish, right? We are still bearish. I'm still valid. Cool. And I think I take a late sell somewhere here. I think I want to say like somewhere here I took a sell. And then I push down, right? And again, it's not a bad trade. Not a bad trade at all. But I got to understand, like, we're at a support level here. So me seeing this doji right here, I should have been out with that trade and just letting it be, right? Because again, we don't know if we're going to continue bullish, and again, we're not trying to hold this counter trend too much because again, we understand that we're not bullish based off the daily, off these candles right here, off all this. It'll look bullish, super bullish. Structure though, go back to structure, right? At the end of the day, if your key points are not broken, they're not broken. So we're at this lower high point, and that's all we're at. This is literally all just. I mean, we're past the 100%. This is like more like 120 type of trade right here. 1.2? No, not that one. That one. Is it that one? Because I have negative. So I have 1. Oh no, 2. Is it 2? Oh no, okay, so I think it is. So I think it is this one, because 1 point, oh yeah, 1.2 here. Yep, found it. That's right, 120% retrace, right? At this point, this is what I call overextended, right? When it hits this 100%, when it hits this, 110, 120%, but it's not really breaking structure, that's what I call overextended, right? Oh, overextended. And that's that trade there, right? So again, we're still pretty much bearish. We're just overextending. It's looking like bullish. You know what I mean? This is where again it can just take a lot of traders out, including myself, right? Because again, we were even just here. Like this is such a bad. Like now looking at it, because again we're at the support. Again, I'm seeing it a lot different now, but again, it's just like we were looking at this, but again, we're going back and forth with the whole bias of bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. All right, so I did mark off that support right there, and then at that time I was just like, you know what, I think that we can potentially, like, you know what I mean? I was like, we had all this momentum here, big momentum back. I was like, you know what, I think we can definitely just continue to push, right? And again, we just end up pulling back, and here I am trying to enter another sell, right? So again, these are just things that are just it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's definitely hard, but yeah, that was a really, really bad trade. Again, that could have been like a last entry type of thing. Like if we're in this push, we're in this push, last entry. You know what I mean? Same thing right now. At this entry here, I'm getting this push here. If this starts to kind of, you know what I mean, give me some type of weak candle, all that stuff. I mean, again, we could be looking to like exit out. You know what I mean? We just got to continue this structure here, whatever this plan. I mean, and again, this is a lot, right? Because again, technically, if I'm right here, you can already see if I go down to that 15. So we got ways to push, right? We got some ways to push for me to feel confident in this, like keeping this entry here, right? Where we're at right now. We have a support there. You know what I mean? We're already kind of creating exhaustion, all that stuff. So yeah, so it's just something to keep in mind, right? I still think we can go bearish. I think that hopefully this is the push, right? I'm in this push finally. It's kind of the same thing like this. Same exact thing. I'm in this push here. I'm in this push here. We need to, instead of seeing a doji, we need to see some type of something. You know what I mean? Some type of something. And this is where again I get a lot of people here. And again, I'm not even gonna lie. I also wanted to enter like down here, buy. Cause I was so bullish at this point right here, and it pushed down. And again, I was still so bullish, and I was like, you know what? If I just enter a buy, would have been crazy. But again, at that point, I had lost. Taking like a $70. You know what I mean? It was pretty much break even. You know what I mean? So that is that trade there. Yeah. So I'm pretty much sticking to my analysis. You know what I mean? So we had a good push here. I'm trying to go bearish. Enter bearish way too late for this push. Got me out, and I'm kind of entering a little late as well, but I'm more in the middle side. And now I'm not going to be as delusional, right? Now I want to see a nice, big, solid bearish candle for me to hold, you know what I mean? And then from there, it's all about structure. I'm in a good position enough to, if this does push down here, I can give it some breathing room, you know, and then just let this kind of flow. Because, again, I am bearish. So I do want to see this. Again, I'm not saying that it's just going to tank, all right? Again, I got to give it that breathing room, right? Kind of like this here, like we push, okay, cool, we're at that level, but just within this candle is where you want to let it breathe in a sense, just to see whether or not it's going to continue to push. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at right there. Again, I gotta stick to what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? I can't let that loss affect me. You know what I mean? I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm doing. So this is a great position right here. I'm not even gonna lie. I think this is gonna be another great position here. Definitely want to see something here, but I mean, even if I get a wick or something in these levels, I would not mind taking another position right there and then catching this right here. You know what I mean? So again, it's all about just, I want to continue to catch all these pushes, right? I can even start entering, like, again, I don't know if I want to enter right now, but yeah, I don't. It's tough, you know what I mean? M15, so again, M15, going back to the M15, H4, as structure is developing right now, we can already see this right here to be a lower high point. And again, we're still bearish, right? So this can come back up, and this can come back up here, kind of do this, and still push up, and again, we're still bearish, you know what I mean? We're still bearish. That's not what we want to see, but again, structure can do anything, right? Structure can literally do anything it wants. So again, I would love for it to just kind of fall down right now and just kind of finally fall. Would be amazing. Is it going to do that? Probably not, but we'll see how structure goes, right? Definitely another goal that I want to actually execute, right, is another entry. I need to get another entry, right? I need to get another entry. Again, I think this can push, right? Again, I'm still. I think we can get this push right here, down here. I think it's gonna take out all these little buyers that are within this here, maybe trying to hold all this. Right? And again, maybe, just maybe we can get a crazy wick. something like this, and then if it's gonna turn around, you know, just maybe. Nonetheless, we're just here, right? Daily. Again, there's gonna be TP1 depending on how these candles form. Again, this is what we want, right? We want, okay, but this is a good example as to like, we push down here, we have this doji, and then we push down. You know what I mean? This is what we love to see. This, pushing straight through resistance, pushing, I mean, this could be kind of another example, right? We hit resistance, kind of consolidate a little bit, and then push up. You know what I mean? So this is, it's tricky because sometimes, like, you know what? Okay, this is what we want to see right here. Nice, big, strong pushes. You know what I mean? Same thing here. Nice, big, strong push. So same thing. That's what we want to see here. Just a nice, strong push for us to kind of continue this whole momentum. And we'll just go by like that. You know? So again, nice big push. Let's see whether or not we can hold this position. Reasonings for me to exit would be daily. It would be pretty much on H4. Sorry, H4. Depending on how these candles form right now. That's kind of hard because again, we are in Asian session. It's not even like the session, so we could get a lot of slow momentum, right? But again, I don't want to confuse that with weak momentum, right? Because again, we're not in session. So again, it's just about being patient, right? I'm really, really bearish on this right now. I think that we're still pretty much bearish. We can just maintain these levels, and we'll be good, right? So again, second trade, or did I trade? No, technically first trade of the year, of the month, of the month. Because technically this last trade over here. Oh no, so I did take this trade here. Okay, so now we did this, because this is my second trade. This was the first trade, on 31st. First, I took this trade. So second trade of the month. Second trade of the month. Here we go. Right. So let's do this. I feel confident. I feel confident in this for sure. If I can just get another move, another candle. I mean, another entry here. It would be lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But again, that's kind of where we want to be cautious because again, we're at that lowest point, you know. Trying to enter here. Again, if it does not push down here and ends up pushing back here, I'm not going to be able to hold that stop loss. Got to be very, very smart about this. Very smart about this. Need a lower low here for sure though. And now we're kind of focusing. And again, this square here can kind of pull back even just based up here. Oh, it's not based on. What time is it? Based on just this here alone. I mean, so do this and then end up for pushing to the downside. Or maybe just something like this would be nice. Like here maybe, and then we have a little bit of a, let's go on M1. I would say that on here, and yeah, based on just this time frame here, do see a lot. But something like this little key level right here, that's nice. I like that a lot. Another tool that I'm trying to use would be nice. Bang. Oh, that is nice. That's nice. I don't know how to use this just yet, but giving that quite that volume right around here. See a lot of finance right here. A lot of transactions around there. Lines up perfectly too with all this. A little bit above, but it's not bad for an entry. But right now we are pushing. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Even technically here, we kind of got a late entry here as well. Entry was here, but I was already looking at this right here. Could have been a little bit more up. So right now this is kind of where we're at. We'll see how we kind of see how we kind of push, right? We'll see how we push here. Did we break that? I already break that. Yeah, so that'll be that. Again, we'll see. We'll see how we close out. Call this a trade. And we shall see this in the morning.